Chapter 1. The Tao that can be talked about is not the absolute Tao. If it can be named, it is not an absolute name. That which has no name is the origin of heaven and earth. That which has a name is the mother of all things. Thus, if always without desire, one can observe indescribable marvels. If always desirous, one sees merest traces. These two come from the same source but are differently named. Both are called mysterious. The mystery of the mysterious is the gateway to all indescribable marvels. Chapter 2. If everyone understands the beautiful as beauty, there must be ugliness. If everyone understands goodness as good, there must be not good. Being and not being are mutually arising. Difficult and easy are complementary. Long and short arise from comparison. Higher and lower are interdependent. Vocalization and verbalization harmonize with each other. Before and after accompany each other. This is why the sage manages affairs of non-action and performs wordless teaching. The myriad things are made without the slightest word. Nature gives birth, but does not possess. It acts, but does not demand subservience. Only because it claims no credit is it indispensable. Chapter 3. Not honoring men of worth keeps the people from competing. Not wanting rare things keeps the people from thievery. Not showing off desirous objects keeps the hearts of the people from disaster. That is why the sage governs himself by relaxing the mind, reinforcing the abdomen, gentling the will, strengthening the bones. Always cause the people to be without knowledge or desires. Cause the intelligent ones to dare not act. Let there be non-action and there is nothing that will not be well regulated. Chapter 4. The Tao is empty, yet when applied it is never exhausted. So deep it seems to be the ancestor of all things. Blunting sharp edges, resolving confusions. Diffusing glare, uniting the world. Such depth, something seems to exist there. I do not know whose child it is. It seems to have existed before the ancestor. Chapter 5. Heaven and earth are not humane, treating the myriad things as straw dogs. The sage is not humane, treating the people as straw dogs. The space between heaven and earth is like a bellows, empty and yet inexhaustible. Move it and even more comes out. Too many words quickly exhaust. It is not as good as holding to the center. Chapter 6. The spirit of the valley does not die, and is called mysterious female. The door of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. It lingers in wisps, use it without haste. Chapter 7. Heaven is long-lasting and earth is enduring. The reason why heaven and earth can live long and endure is that they do not live only for themselves. Therefore they can produce perpetually. This is why the sage puts himself behind, yet ends up ahead. Considers himself an outsider yet finds himself in the mainstream. Is it not because he is selfless that his self can be realized? Chapter 8. The greatest attitude is like water. Water is good at benefiting all things and yet it does not compete with them. It seeks out those places regarded as evil by man. Thereby, it is close to Tao. For one's dwelling, choose the ground well. In cultivating one's heart, search the depths well. In dealing with people, treat them well. When speaking, do so with sincerity. In governing, keep order. In serving, do to the best of your ability. In acting, choose the timing well. Only by not competing can one be beyond reproach. Chapter 9. To grasp after until full is not as good as stopping. Measure and fit a cross brace, it cannot last long. If one's hull is filled with gold and jade, it cannot be safeguarded. If one is wealthy and honored, pride follows, and one gifts oneself with the faults thereof. When the work is done, retire. This is the Tao of Heaven. Chapter 10. In unifying the spirit of the blood and the spirit of the breath, can you keep them from separating? In concentrating the chi to attain resiliency, can you be like an infant? In polishing the mirror of mysterious vision, can you do it spotlessly? In opening and closing heaven's gate, can you be the female? In being enlightened and comprehending all, can you do it without knowledge? In loving the people and governing the nation, can you practice non-action? Produce and provide a good environment. Create but do not possess. Act but do not control. Raise but do not harvest. This is called profound Te. Chapter 11. 30 spokes converge at a single hub. It is the vacancy that begets the vehicle's usefulness. Mix clay to make a vessel. It is the vacancy that makes the vessel useful. Cut out the doors and windows to make a room. It is the vacancy that constitutes the usefulness of the room. Therefore, that which is there is an advantage. But its vacancy is what is useful. Chapter 12. The 5 colors cause one's eyes to be blinded. The 5 tones cause one's ears to be deafened. The 5 flavors cause one's palate to be cloyed. Racing about on horseback and hunting cause one's mind to be maddened. Hard to obtain merchandise causes mankind to do wrong. So the sage concerns himself with the abdomen and not the eyes. Therefore, he rejects the one and chooses the other. Like, bookmark, follow, and prevent not being found in the future.